Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video that I felt the need to make. There is some relatively serious allegations against fellow Team Fortress 2 YouTuber Fatmagic. This video popped up in my recommended Fatmagic cheats. Yes, he cheats. Before we do anything else here, a disclaimer, okay? Do not harass Fatmagic if you think that he is in fact cheating. Do not harass Venusian Rapper if you think that Fatmagic is not cheating and are on his side. Be nice and respectful to either side. Points can be raised, points can be proven or disproven, but stay respectful and nice, please, because no good discourse has ever come from a Slaughterfest where both sides go, hey, you are stupid, no, you're dumb, just stay nice, both sides, the allegations here, let's see if it has any substance, alright? Gonna move myself over here. So here's the video, Fatmagic cheats.
So I'm just going to get straight into it. Fatmagic is a closet cheater. If you're watching this video, you've probably heard of him in some capacity, as he is a large TF tuber with over 100,000 subscribers. I've previously accused him of cheating in a few other videos of mine, most prominently in this one, where I show a clip of him using the Huntsman and subsequently appearing to aim lock onto a pyro through the wall. A lot of people began to comment about this particular moment, which caught Fatmagic's ire. The last time someone accused him of cheating, Fatmagic attempted to publicly shame and ridicule the person by posting the link of the video on his Steam profile for his legion of child fans to ridicule the man into unlisting the video. It's quite ironic that he would do this, considering only a month before, he made a video about not harassing others in his videos, but I guess it's only okay if he does it.
Alright, so the first point raised is not really Fatmagic is cheating, here's the evidence, but more there was a clip of him snapping to a pyro, and people or someone made a video saying, hey, this looks like you're cheating. And he found it funny, humorous, put a link to it on his profile. From what I know, it said something like, this was golden to watch. Here's the link. And then people watch it, and it's like, Fatmagic is cheating. And most people watching that clip came from Fatmagic's Steam profile, and their conclusion was, well, this is not really incriminating evidence. So they left a comment probably saying something along the lines of, no, he's not, you goofy goober, or something a bit more serious, or something like, hey, maybe he is cheating, one of those, probably. And then the person unlisted the video. While I do think that a disclaimer maybe would have been appropriate, saying something like, hey, here's the video that I saw about me cheating, where I really don't think I am cheating because I'm not cheating, but if you watch it, please don't go and harass them. A little disclaimer like that maybe would have been nice. But the video is public. It's public. And if I made a video today saying, hey, PewDiePie is actually an idiot and he stinks, and then I show some footage that maybe does not get all people on my side, and I get some comments saying, why would you say that? That's not really nice of you. I think in fact that you stink and you're an idiot. Well, I put up my public opinion and I got some backlash. And the allegation is relatively serious, so I really don't think it was Fatmagic's responsibility here to be extra protective and cautious, and he really didn't say anything brutal, he just said it was funny. So really, I don't see the big harassment and issue here, but on YouTuber scales, we have a lot more influence than the people that are not as big as us subscriber-wise, so it would have been a smart idea, and I had to get to this myself, maybe put a bit of a disclaimer there. I once made a video about a Team Fortress 2 item in the workshop. I make a lot of Team Fortress 2 workshop videos, but that's not important here. I just said one cosmetic looked a bit cringe, and that video got like 80,000 views, and some people went to that creator and told him that he was an idiot for making that cosmetic, and I was taken aback. Why would you do that, right? I just found the cosmetic funny, and it was the trendy thing at the time to say, Among Us cringe. It was like a Spy Among Us cosmetic. I didn't even think about the possibility that people would be seriously mean or bad to that person. Yes, in my case it was a lot more unprovoked, but it did teach me that you have to be relatively careful in the position of a YouTuber with the things you say to small creators, because they really can't, usually take it well because they've never experienced anything like that, and you just have to be careful. So maybe he could have put a disclaimer, but really it wasn't necessary at all, I think, in this case. But let's continue watching.
In response to the influx of comments regarding the alleged aim lock in his video, Fatmagic would go on to post a community update, where he states he will release a video soon to embarrass those who accused him. This was followed by another post saying he was taking a short hiatus, leading to a 3-month gap in video uploads. Conveniently, this hiatus happened around the same time rumors started to spread of the update which happened in June, which many believed also came with an update to Valve's anti-cheat system. Why this is important is that he has told his viewers before that he stopped playing briefly in 2016, selling his inventory even. This coincides with the timeline of when Maxbox quit cheating, Sketchek faked his death, and the major VAC ban wave resulting in 90% of competitive snipers getting banned. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt that his absences conveniently at the time where rumors of VAC updates were spreading, and subsequent VAC ban waves, is simply another coincidence to add to the list.
Alright, I think that was the entire point raised. So, he took a pause off Team Fortress 2 in June for a month, right? That was it. And this coincided with a huge VAC update, maybe, that we think might have happened. Which of course alludes to the possibility that he is a cheater and he was scared to be banned, which would have been bad because, well, it's a bad look if you get banned from Steam as a popular Team Fortress 2 YouTuber. Of course it is. Do I think this is possibly incriminating evidence? No. Possibly yes. But realistically, no. I'm looking real smug over here. I just noticed, like, I think... I'm sorry. Self-awareness kicked in. Anyway, like, of course, it's a weird coincidence, right? But really, it's not evidence at all. It's just a weird coincidence. That's it. Plus, this time frame aligned with exam season. So, I don't know if Fatmagic goes to uni like me, but about this time frame, had to pause. I, in fact, didn't make videos for 2 weeks. About from now, no videos at all, just because, well, I had to focus on uni, and I was sick also, that also happened, but mostly because I was focused on uni, so really, a pause from YouTube is not evidence, it's just not. But let's continue.
Back from his hiatus, on July 4th, he uploaded a video titled, How to Aim Like an Aimbot, where he addresses the hacking accusations.
So there seems to be some guys out there who think they found definitive proof of me cheating. I caught them slipping up. I distinctly remember why I put that clip in. Thought process behind this clip is, wow, that lined up perfectly. That would be hilarious to fuck with some people. And no, he's not making excuses. It's so good that it worked. It worked so much later though. It took like more than a year. You guys got baited by me and probably by someone else. I think it's targeted. My guess is some genius guy looked at this and was like, oh, look, guys, he snapped to a pyro looking around a corner. He's cheating, guys. I don't know anything about shooters.
He claims, conveniently, that he remembered putting the clip in to specifically bait others into thinking he was cheating, which has to be the most pathetic excuse I have ever heard in my life. Any doubts I had previously that he wasn't cheating vanished instantly upon him uttering that absolute cope. I honestly would have believed him more if he said it was just a funny coincidence, not planned ahead of time so that 2 years into the future, you can say you baited people with it. I always say in my videos exposing cheaters that ultimately it's the behaviors and egos of the accused that give them away, and that rings just as true for Fatmagic. Normal players who are accused of cheating do not act like this. They brush it off. They laugh it off. They pay it no mind more than it needs to. For Fatmagic, however, he now always feels the need to justify himself and ridicule those who make such accusations, knowing his infantile fan base will believe anything he says due to his sizable channel and reverence as a god of Team Fortress 2. The money and respect clearly gone to his head. Were 18 comments at the least, out of over 1,000, really enough to get you that upset at the slight possibility of being exposed as a closeted TF2 cheater, that instead of taking it humbly and ignoring it like a normal person, you decide to respond with that lame excuse? And did you really think I only had a single clip to use as evidence against you?
Alright, before we get into the other incriminating evidence, I think this is all that was raised about this one pyro snapping clip at the start here. So, let's get into that. So, here's the clip on the original video. It was the full TF2 2020 experience uploaded in October 2020. And let's just watch it and see for ourselves. How bad is it really? Is it playing? Oh, I have to... 1 second. At the speed of 0.25. Here it is.
Let's go to the promised
That was it.
land.
That was it. That was the entire thing. That was the entire thing. Again?
Back, ladies and gentlemen.
Snap. That was
Go
it.
to the promised land. That's what this place is.
Alright. So did it really look aimbotty? No. I really don't think it did. I've seen plenty of aimbots. That's not really how they look. But that is very subjective. And I'm inclined to believe that Fatmagic's innocent. So, Fatmagic has in fact made a video where he goes over it frame by frame and explains why it is in fact entirely possible that this was not only coincidental, but also totally explainable. So let's hear it from the man himself. Fatmagic. Go,
Okay,
my guy.
it's right here. So I flick to the left, right? I go up and over, down, straight, and then... So I set up my crosshair here, and then I hold the D button on my keyboard to peak the angle. And as you can see here, it lines up perfectly with the pyro. That's so good.
I did it like this.
But look, this whole time, I'm holding A or D and my mouse is not moving, right? Like, I'm just following this guy. And then when I start to go down the stairs, I move my mouse right here. I move it.
Alright. What has made me think that this was not proof of aimbot? Well, first of all, because he's making it super slow here, we can actually go over that. Usually, aimbots, or actually always, aimbots snap to the center of the target, and then they stay there. And it looks very skittish, like... I can't really say it in any other way. It just looks like a lot less stationary. And as Fatmagic correctly states in this clip, he and the pyro are both walking in the very same direction. They're both moving like this. So it would make sense for his crosshair to stay on the target that he coincidentally aimed at, pre-aiming at where people would be once he's turning the corner, because they usually are about there. But the crosshair does in fact not stay
moving
in the very center. It moves
following this
slightly
guy. And then when
to
I
the left
go down
before he starts to move it, which is right around here. It moves slightly off the center of the target, which is something aimbot would not do, from what I know how it works, which is actually not that little, because I have 7,000 hours in game and I've spectated plenty of people that actually cheat. So I have a good idea of how it looks. I've even seen people cheating on YouTube, and I know how it looks from their perspective. Because there's footage of cheaters on YouTube which aggravates me. People who are full cheating, it's not against the YouTube guidelines. I've looked. It's not. It makes me mad. It's really not. But I know how aimbot looks.
stairs, I move my mouse right here. I move it.
Yeah.
See? And then I continue holding D, and look, now I'm perfectly tracing the tip of his gun. Click clear hacker movements here. You see, perfect tracking on his phlogistinator, or no, his Dragon's Fury there. You see, still all I'm doing is holding the D button and not moving my mouse. This is an old video, and this is actually a dumb peek by me. I don't know why I would just like snap and then just hold D and hope someone lines up like Guitar Hero style like this. And then, you know, that's it. It goes to the next thing. So that's what everyone's up in arms about. I distinctly remember why I put that clip in.
Alright, now till here, I'm fully on Fatmagic's side. Here's what the real issue seems to be, which is his next step in defense. Let's hear it.
I distinctly remember why I put that clip in. If you notice in my videos, I put every clip with a purpose, or at least I try to. That's the goal anyways. But I do go through each clip myself. I edit my own videos. And the thought process behind this clip is, wow, that lined up perfectly. That would be hilarious to fuck with some people. I guess it bit me in the ass. And no, he's not making excuses. I'm actually serious. That was genuine.
Okay, we get the rest. So, it does sound a bit ridiculous. I'm inclined to agree that you would put that in on purpose just to mess with people, because it's such a short and insignificant bit. But from working with Fatmagic personally, I know that he does, in fact, unlike me, put a little bit of thought into his videos. And a lot of Fatmagic's brand is people accusing him of cheating. There's a lot of videos where he gets vote kicked from the server, and as one would notice when being a YouTuber, this is content that goes well on YouTube because people watch it and they go like, eh, he's not actually cheating, this is so hilarious that he's being kicked. And then a lot of people watch it and it like works for the YouTube game. So, does he state this in a poor manner? Yes. Do I think it's possible or thinkable that Fatmagic, while seeing his own clip where he snaps to the pyro, thinks, well, that aligned, that was weird, maybe some people think that I'm cheating because of this, that would be cool if I can sort of, like, I don't want to say milk this, but take advantage of this funny coincidence. I think that's possible, but he stated it poorly. I agree to that, yes. But I don't think he's cheating because of it. No, I really don't. I don't. I sound like a dog. I'm weird. I'm sorry. I think it's entirely thinkable. And Fatmagic's first defense especially is a lot stronger, where he goes through it frame by frame and you see that it's actually not on the center the entire time. And his cursor does not keep moving. You could say it just snapped to the target at the start for like one frame and then he moved off it. But I really don't think that this one clip is incriminating evidence in this direction. I don't, because it was a spot that you would usually pre-aim or often pre-aim, because a lot of people aren't there often. So it's a lot more likely in my head and my thought process that it was just a pre-aim that aligned on coincidentally. Yeah, okay, let's move on. I'm sorry for talking so long.
Genius. I guess you got baited harder, as that was only the first thing I ever noticed as being simply suspicious.
Okay,
Originally,
let's get to the rest.
I had planned to do a deep dive and present all the instances I gathered across many of your videos.
Maybe would have been better.
But I think you've done all the work for me in this one video. Let's take a look at the rest of the footage and point out more coincidences in his gameplay. I'm going to start with the most obvious clip in his video, the part at 740 where he headshots a spy, despite his crosshair being nowhere near the head hitbox.
Let's see it.
Checking. Notice how often I do 180s. Also,
right.
I don't know how the hell that hit. Like,
and he acknowledges that was a weird shot. But was it never on his head? I'm gonna slow this down here real quick, okay? Okay, there it is. Yes, it is. It is on his head. It is on his head for a split second. It was in fact not off his head. He moves over his head. He moves over the... It's not like the head isn't like this hitbox. It's a square, right? It's a square. It's not like huge, but it's around like the head. And if he moves over the chin area here, that's more than enough to register as a headshot for the game. So he does in fact go over the head hitbox in this clip.
There is no way you're going to convince anyone with half a brain cell that this is a legitimate shot.
Come on, man.
You meekly
was
try to
literally
play
on the
it
head.
off puzzlingly, asking how that registered as a headshot, but we both know why.
But he was on the head, though.
silent aim. How are you trying to play this off?
Real quick, silent aim is when it's within the area, you click, and it doesn't even snap to it, but just does it server-sided, so it looks like you didn't never snap or do any funny business, but he still headshot over here. Like, you shoot here, and over there's the headshot. That's what silent aim is.
Off as legit.
Right,
Seeing
yeah,
that huge gap between where you're aiming at the spy's hand
over the face.
and where the head hitbox is. Let me guess. This is just another coincidence, and leaving this clip in is yet another bait, right? This is disgraceful. Judging by the distance, it's safe to assume you have an aim field of view, or FOV, of about 5, a feature of cheat software such as Lamaubox, which allows users to dictate the range at which the aimbot will function. Combining the feature
wait. I feel like I need to say this. Is it thinkable? Yes, it is. It is thinkable. But is it likely? No, not at all. It's not. Yes, it is possible, though. It's possible.
Separate key binding such as mouse 4 on computer mice which have multiple buttons, allows the user to activate the aimbot only within a specified range to make it appear less obvious than, say, a bot instantly turning 180 degrees and instantly headshotting. Conversely, anything outside of that range will not be targeted. By using this feature in tandem with the feature named Silent Aim, which only affects the point of view of the user as it has been patched long ago, you can make ridiculous shots like the one Fatmagic just performed and play it off as, oh, it's just TF2 being funky. A convenient excuse, adding this to the seemingly endless list of coincidences.
I mean, it's not really endless, is it? It's 1, 2, 3 thus far.
Sir placement, like I'm gonna be a maniac. Like you don't have to be like this thorough, to be honest.
Okay. So, incriminating footage again of him killing an engineer with
just
his
a little
SMG.
before the last one. According to the hit sounds here, Fatmagic is landing multiple shots in succession of one another, despite at times not even having his crosshair on the enemy. These blood splatters indicate that damage is being applied to the target, despite his aim being nowhere near the body. This is confirmed by the damage number increasing over the enemy's head as he shoots along with the blood splatter. When he is adjusting his aim to follow the retreating player, visible blood splatters appear on the body indicating where the player was hit naturally. So how is he aiming off to the side, but still hitting the player? The answer is yet again silent aim, with an aim FOV of at least 5, as the range where his SMG is firing from falls within those parameters. Again, I don't see how anyone could believe this is legitimate.
Okay, to even understand what the misunderstanding is going to be difficult, but I'll try my best to understand. So, we have to start at the first shot being fired. Here's the first shot fired at the engineer. So, here, the wound on the engineer is being drawn. Remember where this is, or try to remember where this is in 3D space, because that is where the game will also draw a blood splatter. So the game draws two things. It first draws the wound, and then it also makes a blood splatter effect from that wound, as well as a little damage number. But the blood splatter and damage number will only happen as soon as the server sends back, yes, it really hit. Because sometimes you'll get the blood splatter, but you won't get a damage number, when it looks like on your client side it hit, but the server says, no, you really didn't. So first shot being the wound being drawn, and now, when the counter goes from 24 to 23 on the bullets, and the second shot is being fired, causing a new wound, only then is the first blood splatter drawn over here. This blood splatter is for the bullet, the first bullet, the bullet from 25 to 24, while the shot 24 to 23 is being fired. And the blood splatter is being drawn over here because when you hit the engineer from 25 to 24 with the first bullet, the engineer was there, with the wound being there. As you can see, here he was, and now it's drawn there. And this is really tough because it's being drawn, the blood splatter is being drawn on the second shot. So here, shot 15 is being fired, and it hits. The wound on the engineer is being drawn, and here is where it is in 3D space. Okay? It's here in 3D space, and then shot 14 misses, but the wound from shot 15 is being drawn right now, because remember the delay is exactly one shot by sheer coincidence, making it look like this shot that hits the ground over here and causes a little dirt splatter actually hit the engineer, because at the exact same time as the blood splatter is being drawn, the new damage number is also being drawn. When he then fires shot 13, which hits the engineer again, there is no damage number. There is no new damage number, and there is no new blood splatter. That's because it's delayed, and the shot that actually hit the dirt is only now being accounted for, and that shot, of course, did nothing. So, I know, I can see how the misunderstanding happened, but I also hope that you can see that this in fact proves that Fatmagic is not cheating, because his shot only connected when it had to, only connected when it did, and the blood splatter was drawn at the correct thing in 3D space. It is a bit far to the right, but that is because hitboxes are square, and where the engineer is on the server side is slightly different than to the client side, and it matches up exactly. I spent way longer than I should have on this, I'm sure. Okay, let's move on to the next cheating instance.
The next couple of clips are going to showcase use of a cheat feature known as Triggerb, the functionality of which fires your gun automatically upon passing over the enemy player's hitbox, or a specific part of their body. Again, this feature can be toggled with use of a key binding, but the nature of this specific cheat is more difficult to spot. This clip at 3:53 of the video doesn't seem too out of the ordinary to the average viewer, but upon further inspection, you can tell that this shot was intended to hit the very edge of the soldier's head hitbox,
Yes.
if not blocked by the hitbox of the hand in front of it.
Yes.
You might say this piece of evidence is rather weak, to which I agree, which is why I am supplementing this part with multiple examples. As you can see by this clip, a mere 6 seconds after,
But where was the...
intended to hit the very edge of the soldier's head hitbox,
Yes.
if not blocked by the hitbox of the hand in front of it.
But why is this proof? This literally isn't... This doesn't say anything. So he shot at the soldier's head, but the soldier's hand, as the player model was coming down, dragged in front of the head, so he instead hit the hand. What does that say about him using cheats? It really doesn't. Comment down below, but I don't think I am missing anything. And with or without cheats, it is entirely possible that this would occur, with and without.
You might say this piece of evidence is rather weak, to which I agree, which is why I am supplementing this part with multiple
see
examples.
The supplementation.
As you can see by this clip, a mere 6 seconds after, at 3:59, his crosshair placement is at the absolute edge of the sniper's head hitbox, registering a headshot and killing the player.
But what's
Never
wrong
mind
with that?
he was aiming at him directly through the wall before, as that could be explained as simple situational awareness, map knowledge.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I get it. I think the issue is he shoots as soon as let's say this is like the crosshair, right? What am I doing? It works. Say this is the crosshair, right? He fires as soon as it starts to align with the head hitbox. And that's the incriminating evidence, because that is how the Triggerb works, right? First of all, that's not evidence, that's coincidence. Or else any headshot anyone has ever done that wasn't dead center, but instead at the edge of the head hitbox would be incriminating evidence towards cheating. Second of all, him pre-aiming that sniper is something that comes natural to anyone who's ever played that map, because in Badwater, there's always a sniper there if you pre-aim that spot. And if you played enough sniper, you would know where the head hitbox is. And you would also, because he was between two walls, shoot this exact spot by default. So,
and common
this is a
enemy
bit
placement,
ridiculous.
indicating where the player would be standing in this face-off. That's not to say that Fatmagic couldn't be employing the use of ESP, or wall hacks as they are more commonly known, as a feature exists called anti-OBS, which allows the user to record gameplay footage without the cheat's overlay and features being seen in video recording software.
It is a thing.
A bit later, at 5:03 in the video, you can see his crosshair do a drive-by across the head, followed by some sort of little circle.
Also known as flicking.
Sure what the purpose or thought process was in this moment to him doing that circular motion, as it only makes him appear more suspicious. He mentions earlier in the video that he micro-adjusts his...
Alright, so he's using this movement. I just got the headshot. He's doing this movement, right? Just hopped into TF2 for that. Let's say that torch over there is a head. If you want to flick headshot that torch, you would do this. But if you want to flick to the torch and be ready to shoot and adjust again, you would do this. You would snap back to the torch, and the motion that you end up doing is the circular motion. And snapping over the torch allows you to shoot the torch, right? I don't see why that's aimbot behavior. That's how you snipe people. Also, I just wanted to edit this in because I feel like it's important. Even on my headshot, if you slow it down, my crosshair is never fully on the head, and the crit is very delayed to the shot. So keep that in mind, guys. That's a thing.
Aim. But if you're a good enough sniper, you should have the muscle memory to place your crosshair directly on someone's head, such as in this clip. Not swipe across their head, as Fatmagic does constantly. Here at the 10:36 mark.
Well, it's a difference in playstyle. It's flicking and not stable. I don't know what the name for the other art of sniping is, but it's flicking, right? You flick above the head.
Well, he doesn't drive by the head, like I explained in the last
Flicks
clip.
again in this one.
Flick that he intends to show off here looks too unnatural to be legitimate. The semicircle motion contradicts what a good sniper player would do, which would be to move their crosshair in the quickest motion, which would provide the least amount of distance between point A and point B. These corrections, or micro-adjustments, as Fatmagic likes to refer to them as, are nothing more than excuses to hide the fact that he is utilizing a trigger bot to provide these shots in order to appear more legit than he actually is.
Okay, now this is the first thing in this entire video so far where I would say that shot's a bit sussy. It's a bit suspicious. It is a bit suspicious because from his usual shots, Fatmagic's usual shots, he flicks right to left and not left and then right again. It's a bit strange, but this is so far the first thing that really is aimbot behavior that coincidentally aligns with him, because people with aimbot would do the same thing, because what you want to do is you would just want to get your crosshair above the head. So what you end up doing, let me demonstrate with the torch again, is you just go you just move it above the torch, right, twice, to give the aimbot two chances of firing, first to the left and then to the right. And as soon as the aimbot registers, yes, we are above the head, it fires. So him doing this, that is what aimbotters do as well. But one shot that coincidentally not looks like he's aimbotting, but aligns with what aimbotters do. There's a difference here, right? It doesn't look like he's aimbotting, but aimbotters just do the same thing. Because in both instances, you need, if you're legit, you need to get your crosshair to go above the head. And if you're cheating with this form of aimbot, you still need to get your crosshair onto the head. So in both instances, you would do the same thing. If you're legit, you would do the thing. And if you're cheating, you would do the thing. Just because it's aligned in this case. And both do what the other would do. It's not at all evidence. It is once more a coincidence. But in this case, I will grant just slightly weird. Yes.
While I have been thorough in my analysis of the evidence provided here, if it was only me providing my thoughts on these matters, it wouldn't make for a very strong argument against him. So my assistant, Jaded Roses, a former TF2 cheater, who helped gather this information, also took the liberty of asking other...
Wait, let me read this real quick. This is where I'm stopping the brain damage and delirium is setting in and causing irreparable damage. I just effing can't. I can't. Due to the footage I've had to review, almost 4 minutes in. 10 minutes I cannot handle this caliber of BS. There's enough BS here to keep our nation's farmers fertilized for a millennia. Alright.
Information. Also took the liberty of asking other well-known TF2 cheaters on their thoughts to the evidence she provided. Given that these people have many years of cheating experience, much like Maxbox did when he made his TF2 Spot the Hacker videos, I believe their insight is very relevant and valid to the matters at hand. Current cheater Jack and Jones points out that the Z pattern aiming Fatmagic consistently utilizes is a dead giveaway of aimbot or aim assistance, while also verifying the feature known as anti-OBS to mask a closet cheater's footage from recording the cheat's menu or features. When shown the clips before of the spy at 7:40 and the soldier at 5:03, current cheater Fraxinus expressed bewilderment at the evidence, agreeing that the clips viewed were of questionable gameplay.
Okay, so one of the two cheaters here says it's possible in this thing, and they seem much more inclined to think that the C pattern on the Harvest soldier on the roof there is a lot more incriminating. They seem to agree on that, where on this, only one person seems fully sold.
Expressed bewilderment at the evidence, agreeing that the clips viewed were of questionable gameplay. Side note, at 3:39 of Fatmagic's video, fighting a blatant aimbot, a screen is showed where he asks his audience what the Franklinator 2011's message of Nitro marked, "I need a vaccinator medic, P silent" meant. Well, Fraxinus knows, as a Nitro user themselves, Nitro, of course, being a hack client for Team Fortress 2,
Alright, I did not
and
know.
personally knowing the Nitro user featured in the video. He explains that it is a feature of Nitro which is able to detect cheating players enabling certain features, and in this case, it detected Fatmagic probably toggling on after dying so many times to the player, resulting in Nitro's detection of Fatmagic's cheat injection.
Okay, two things I have to say to that. First of all, I have no idea if that's true, but assuming it is, I would find it hard to believe that Fatmagic would leave this in knowing his own cheats and knowing what the message means. But really, I've never used Nitro, and if this is 100% true and could not be, in fact, the guy toggling specifically onto Fatmagic in this clip, I just don't have enough information, but I would find it hard to believe that Fatmagic would leave this in knowing what it means. I
Detected
find that
Fatmagic
weird.
probably toggling on after dying so many times to the player, resulting in Nitro's detection of Fatmagic's cheat injection. Don't know how he's going to explain this one, if I'm being honest. Current cheater,
I don't.
Repos,
I
initially
don't
gave a
think
lukewarm
that's-
agreement that Fatmagic is cheating when provided with the evidence. Then, upon further inspection of his own, he solidified his stance that Fatmagic was cheating based off the inconsistencies of the crosshair placement. He proposed different scenarios which could explain what was happening in the clip, but concluded that each scenario still pointed to Fatmagic cheating. Sniper Main Strange Demo, when presented with the evidence, concludes that Fatmagic's gameplay in the previous clips was not legitimate, citing the exaggerated mouse movements and correction oddities, while also agreeing usage of silent aim and Triggerb was in effect. This video has gone on long enough, and I think I've made my point abundantly clear that he's cheating. Hopefully you found this video to be informative and have come to an understanding of my perspective through this in-depth analysis. Remember, this is all from just one video. Imagine what I have from the rest of his content library.
Okay, so in this entire video, there wasn't really definitive proof. There wasn't. But if Fatmagic was cheating, which I don't think he is, and I don't think you would get that opinion from this video, he would probably not upload that footage to YouTube if he had even 5 brain cells. So this was inconclusive, but from this alone, I'm more than willing to believe that Fatmagic is not cheating. And I want to remind everyone who watched this video to please not go to either side and harass anyone, please, 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 and draw your own conclusion. I think he's not cheating. I think none of the clips shown in this video were incriminating towards Fatmagic, and that's my final verdict. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more Team Fortress 2 stuff, go ahead and subscribe, and that's it from me. Fatmagic, buddy-o, if you're watching this, hey, I'm with you. I don't see anything here that's incriminating at best. I see 1 or 2 weird shots, and I've hit weird shots before. In fact, most shots in Team Fortress 2 look weird because there's a lot of goofy stuff going on if you have even the slightest bit of ping. And that's it from me. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.